Banking restructure is finished. The CARS account was the last account I'm going to ask you to open. At this time, I don't think there's any need for more accounts. If you have a lot of healthcare expenses, you could consider an account to help you prepare for and track those expenses. But I'm not making that part of tabs, at least not now. I used to have an account just for my debts, but after paying them off, I no longer needed that account, and I realized that stopping the bank transfers and closing the account automatically improved my savings. While a separate account would keep that extra savings separate, I feel it's just a confusion factor that no one needs. But if you want, you can have a savings account and redirect your paid off debt payments to that account. When set up and used properly, tabs should help you pay bills in full, pay bills on time, boost your credit score, help you eliminate bad debts, and help you save for real investing. These things won't happen overnight and may not happen at all, as the system can't prevent abuse and misuse. The system also can't magically increase your income or decrease your expenses. It can help you to understand where your money is going so you can make more informed financial decisions. In the next lesson, you'll see how it's possible to expand tabs to an absolutely crazy level. But even I haven't gone that far with it. Although we're finished with restructuring your banking, we're not finished with your education. There are more lessons that'll become available over the next weeks. We'll take a look at the stock market, inflation, your retirement, and more. Thanks for watching. Going crazy with tabs. Now that you have a full tab setup, your budget helps keep all your new accounts on track. As you pay off your debts, you can remove them from the debts page of your budget spreadsheet, and you should add them to your savings page. Otherwise, the spreadsheet will show an increase in your daily living allowance. A paid off debt should become savings. So add that payment to your savings page of your budget. Please resist the urge to increase your allowance. You should only increase your allowance when your budget says you can, and when you really, truly need an increase. Remember, an increase in your daily living will decrease your savings. Now let's look at some possibilities with tabs. Let me be clear here. I'm not asking you to do any of what is presented in the following slides. Repeat, I'm not asking you to do any of what is presented in the following slides. These slides are here to show you what could be done with tabs. It's possible to take tabs to the crazy level. You can pause this video to study each slide in closer detail. It's possible to split your finances into as many different accounts as you like. The budget spreadsheet has a page for other commitments. You can enter your transfers to those accounts on that page. On the next slide, you can even split your finances across two different banks. by adding a fixed deposit to your paycheck direct deposit. So that your savings are maximized, make sure your savings account is at the bank where your net pay goes. I use tabs split across two banks because for me, the second bank was my very first separation of my money. I was trying to save just for those large bills, like annual property taxes, annual property insurance, semi-annual car insurance. Then it slowly progressed to just my daily living left at my first bank, with multiple accounts at the second bank. And now I have some savings at both banks. Again, I'm not asking you to do any of what is presented in these two slides. Those slides are here to show you what could be done with tabs. The tabs way of thinking allows you to adjust everything as needed to suit your specific needs. Just knowing that you can have multiple accounts and knowing that automatic transfers can be done for more than putting small fixed amounts into your savings. Knowing that your savings can be automatically maximized by thinking backwards. Knowing that you are always committed to living on the leftovers. And most important, knowing that you now have more control than most people will ever have. Knowing all this should help you avoid many future pitfalls. I hope you enjoy your new way of thinking about finance. There are still many lessons to come. Thanks for watching. Budget updates and wish list. As you go through life, the destination of your financial journey will probably change. Yesterday is history and can't be changed. Tomorrow is future, and you don't know for sure where you will be tomorrow, which means you're constantly at your starting point, the rest of your journey. And your budget is always your starting point. So that you always know where you are, you should update your budget anytime that something changes. You don't really need to change your transfers with every budget change. But if you have to manually transfer funds from one account to another, depending on the cause, it may be time to adjust your transfers. Manual transfers caused by an emergency or one-time expense are not necessarily reasons for adjustment, but lack of funds due to regular expenses is definitely cause for a change. Or something may be missing from your budget to cause the shortage. Now that you're getting settled into your new way of thinking, your budget helps to keep your new accounts on track. As you pay off your debts, you can remove them from the debts page of your budget spreadsheet. But then your budget will show an increase in your daily living allowance. A paid off debt should become savings. Before the debt was paid, you were living without that money. You should continue to live without it. So make sure to add the payment for your paid off debt to the savings page of your budget, or add it to the next debt to be paid off, or split it between savings and the next debt. Since your debt payments come from your debt's savings account, no change is needed in any bank transfers. This just keeps your budget working for your daily living allowance. Please resist the urge to increase your allowance. You should only increase your allowance when the budget spreadsheet says you can, and when you really, truly need an increase. Remember, an increase in your daily living will decrease your savings. Your first goal with savings should be to save up enough so that you could live on your savings for at least 1 month, if you had to. Your second goal with savings should be to save up enough that you can take everything over 1 month of living expenses and put it into a real investment for your future. But even that needs to be something that you can get hold of in a few weeks. This is your savings to live on for months 2 through whenever you can land your next job. And your third goal is to put some into very long-term investing. Inflation will eventually force you to increase your daily living allowance. So don't think of an occasional increase as a failure to live within your means. But if you're constantly having to juggle funds from one account to another, then missing budget entries or overspending may be the cause. Once you're settled into the regular routine of living out of the proper accounts, then and only then can you add wishes to your budget. If you wish to save $100 per paycheck, you can add it to the savings page and see how that will impact your daily living allowance. If you're okay with the new daily living allowance, go ahead and change the transfer at your bank. The same is true with things like a new car or cable TV. Add the monthly payment to the debts or bills page and see how it impacts your daily living allowance. If you're okay with it, then and only then can you get the car. If not, then you need to consider a cheaper car or keep the one you have. If you're putting money into savings, can you afford to put less into savings so that you can afford the car? Why not keep saving until you can pay cash for the new car? The budget spreadsheet allows you to play around with different scenarios to see what works and what doesn't work. Anytime you want to play with the numbers, you should first make a copy of the budget spreadsheet. This way, if something happens to the original, you'll have a backup. Then you can safely play with the numbers to see the impact that the change will have. Don't save the file with your play numbers in it. Just exit the file without saving so that your real numbers aren't permanently altered. Only save the file when you know the changes are permanent. Above all, try to make only one change per month. This will allow yourself some time to see and feel the impact before making more changes. Thanks for watching.